Calling to order the regular meeting of the Wheeling Plan Commission for Wednesday, March 12th, 2025. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Commissioner Riles.
Here.
Commissioner Meyer.
Here.
Casper.
Present.
Commissioner Sprague is here. Commissioner Smart.
Here.
Commissioner Heiken.
Here.
Chairman Johnson.
Here. Ms. Nyes, any changes to the agenda?
No changes.
All right, citizens' concerns and comments. I don't think we had anybody sign up.
No.
And we had no consent items, so we'll go right into the items for review and start with PSP MIN 25-0005, request for minor site plan and appearance approval for construction of a 6-foot tall chain link fence with 1-foot barb extension for Aqualab Water Treatments, Inc. at 2200 Foster Avenue. Ms. Nyes?
Yes, so the business here at 2200 Foster is requesting to put a fence around the rear of their property. Non-residential fences require Plan Commission approval. And this is a standard chain link fence. This is the view from the back. So it's a chain link fence, and it'll have a sliding gate on this entrance and exit. There's just one way out. And when it's open, it'll slide across, or when it's closed, and then when it's open, it'll slide back behind the building. So they won't have to remove any parking spaces. They'll just have to be careful when they're parking in those first couple spaces. So it's a 6-foot high fence with a 1-foot barb extension. And staff had 3 conditions. Those were, number 1, the petitioner shall apply for and receive a building permit from the Community Development Department prior to installation of the fence. Number 2, the fence shall be constructed with commercial grade materials. And number 3, the chain link fence shall not exceed 6 feet in height, not including the 1-foot barb extension. Fence height shall be measured from the finished grade level prior to the installation of the fence.
Thank you. Is the petitioner here?
Yes.
Come on down.
Okay. I'm Jeff Kemke, by the way.
And your business address for the record?
Is 2200 Foster.
Okay. Is there anything you need to add to what Marcy's already said?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll see if we have any questions from the commission. Let's start with Commissioner Heiken.
I have no questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Smart.
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Sprague.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening.
Good evening.
I just have a question about the north side of your property in the back there. There's quite a bit of difference in elevation to your neighbor.
Right.
Where's the fence going to land with that?
If you're familiar, there's railroad ties. There's
Yes.
that much, probably 3 stacked railroad ties. And that would be south of those railroad ties on our parking lot
So
side.
actually on the lot itself, before the
Yes.
difference, who, is that your property or your neighbor's?
As far as,
Because there's telephone poles in there for
Right.
their,
Oh, I
for a
didn't
circuit.
Hold on.
and it's,
Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't show here the difference in the elevation or
No.
how many feet it is off the building. So I couldn't tell where that side lands.
No, and that's kind of something that gets looked at in the field with the building inspector. When they do the post holes, the requirement is that it can be on his property line.
Yeah,
So-
well, there's a lot of brush there that could use some either taken out or
right.
maintenance.
As a matter of fact, one of the utilities just had a company there that cleaned up a lot of that
Oh, did they?
brush. Yeah, it was either the electric company, I guess,
Yeah.
away from the telephone, or the
Right,
lines
right,
there.
it's
so-
like a 10-foot radius.
Right, but there is a lot of brush there, and I was assuming it was gonna be on the parking lot side of those railroad ties, so on the lot side of that.
If it, you know that for sure, or you're just assuming that, or?
I'm looking at that drawing there, you know,
Because if it's on that ledge, that something's gonna have to be done there before you could put a
Right.
fence in there.
right. Yeah, I don't know for sure. I'd have to, you know,
Well, like Marcy said, that can be
Yeah.
addressed.
Yeah,
Okay.
the fence permit allows for brush clearing, not tree clearing, but brush clearing and
There's
making way
about a
for the fence.
3-foot elevation difference between a neighbor and his property.
He can,
So
so
I
he
don't
can
know
put it
where-
on his property.
that's what I was, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where that property line is. It could be in the middle of that.
Right, so the
railroad
fence
ties?
company, when they come out, they'll locate the property corners and go from there. I mean, we don't want there to be like a 1-foot gap where there's grass is gonna grow and it'll be a problem, but if you're, right at where that slope with those railroad ties starts, but I mean, regardless, there's nothing he can do about, the railroad ties.
Well, if they're on his property, he can.
Right, but
They're all fallen right now anyway.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They're not stacked like they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's pretty, but I was thinking for sure it'd be located on the
Oh,
property.
so now you think they're on your property now?
Oh, I don't know as far as the railroad ties
Okay,
specifically.
then we could look at it when it comes through for a permit.
Okay.
Right.
All right, and then just one other thing. Don't put any booms in the air on that side. Not too high anyways.
Okay.
That's 12 kV circuit up there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, right, exactly.
Thank
yes.
you. That's
You're
all I
welcome.
have.
Commissioner Casper?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. So the information says you've been there since 2017. I'm just curious to know, was there a recent event that prompted you to put up this fence?
I would say no, and actually, I bought the building the beginning of 2024. So I'm
okay.
not sure where,
Okay, maybe I misread.
but I just moved in, there was a tenant there through August. So really, we moved in September and realized, that the fence would work out good.
Okay, and do I understand that most of the work that's done in this building is administrative rather than,
Yes,
you're not treating the water there?
no,
Okay.
no. We treat water at other at customers' locations.
Okay, that's all I had. Thank you.
Commissioner Meyer?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No questions.
Commissioner Riles?
Thank you. No questions. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My only question, and we don't have the fire department here, but I assume it's a locked gate.
Yeah, so they'll have to provide the keys and coordinate with the fire department. They'll take a look at the fence permit when it comes through.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we got that covered. Don't want something to happen and then you can't get in your backyard
Right,
there.
makes sense.
You already read the conditions, so any other questions from the group?
Nope.
Then how about a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Meyer and Casper?
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Casper,
Yes.
Commissioner Riles,
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes, Commissioner Smart,
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken,
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so now you can, I'll send you a letter tomorrow morning, but we can move forward with your permit application.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now we've got some school business. First is PSP MIN 25001, request for minor site plan approval for renovations to the playgrounds at Booth Tarkington School, 310 Scott Street. Marcy?
I'm just going to turn this over to the school district representatives.
And just state your name and business addresses, whoever's going to speak.
Hello, I'm Claudia Welp. I'm with Cage Engineering, representing the school district. Business address is 2200 Cabot Drive, Lisle, Illinois.
Michael DiBartolo, Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations for the district, 959 West Dundee Road, Wheeling, Illinois.
Thank you. All right, present.
Awesome. Well, we'll walk through the three different schools that we're reviewing today. So starting with Booth Tarkington Elementary.
Do you want to, I just want to, sorry, do you want to go do one at a time and then vote on each one? I think we should probably do that,
Yeah, we probably should.
so we don't get them mixed up. So we'll just go one at
Okay,
a time.
we'll go
if
one at
that's
a time.
okay.
You can break it down.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll start with Booth Tarkington Elementary. Oh, do
Is there
I
a
have
mouse
it?
up there?
I'm
Sorry.
sorry. Okay, am I
I'm sorry.
waiting for
Or I-
something?
Sorry.
There we go. Okay. So here's the general project location on the south side of the school. General zoning. And then existing conditions, so there's 3 different play lots back here. We are only talking about the 2 on the west side. So those 2 existing play lots are getting removed as part of this project. And it is being consolidated to 1 larger play lot. And then we are also proposing a fence along the east side of the new play lot to protect it from car traffic. So there's an existing fence already along the north side, and so we're just extending it along the east. And this is the fence detail, so it's 4 foot high, ornamental, black panel fence.
All right. Anything else on this one?
Project number 1, yep.
All right. Well, does anyone have any questions on the commission? I do. Okay, go ahead.
Benches and walkways are going to be relocated, is that correct?
Yeah, so there's one walkway that was coming straight through, and we just kind of turned it a little bit in order to maintain a walkway that's existing. So no walkways are getting removed, we're just realigning it.
And timing? Is this over
This
summer?
summer, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And benches are remaining as well. They're relocated on there.
Commissioner Sprague?
Thank you. I just was wondering, I know one of the schools, they used to use their separate playgrounds to separate the grades, like kindergarten versus 5th grade, that type of thing.
Yeah, so on this
So-
one, the playground that we're not touching is for the younger kids, and this one is for, I believe, the older kids. Is that correct?
Okay.
In the past, we did separate, but they've become old and outdated, and now, given the safety zones that you have to have, it makes more sense to have a larger playground with more play area than have separate playgrounds, because it also becomes a supervision issue. And this way, the children are consolidated, we have the blacktop. The plan is eventually, we would like to do a turf field like you're gonna see for Whitman and Twain, so that year-round play for the kids can be there, even when it snows, we can clear it, and that gives more area for the social, emotional well-being of the students. And that way, we have more play area, but a greater concentration, so that supervisors can see both everything on the perimeter of what's coming towards the playground, as well as what's happening inside of it.
And then you're not concerned about mixing the different age?
No, so this is the 3rd year we've done playgrounds. We own 8 of the 9. The only one that we don't own of our own property is in Buffalo Grove. It's Longfellow School. So the first year was Field and Riley. And then last year, we did Poe, which is in Arlington Heights. We did Frost, which is in Mount Prospect. And then we did Kilmer and Buffalo Grove. So these are the last of the playgrounds that are in Wheeling. So the combination has worked at all of the different schools. And we're very comfortable with the fact that this layout has been what's become the district standard.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone down at that end?
No, my questions have been answered. Thank you.
No, I don't have any questions. Thank you.
All right. The only condition is,
An engineering permit will be required for the proposed work.
and if there's no other questions, I would entertain a motion on this one.
So moved.
We have Meyer and Smart. Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Smart,
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes?
Commissioner Casper?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. All right, next up is PSP MIN 25-0003, request for minor site plan approval for renovations to the playgrounds and fields at Mark Twain Elementary School, 515 Merle Lane. Take it away.
Awesome. So here's the school. The area of work is on the north and south side. General zoning map. So existing condition on the north side, there's an existing playground. And on the east side, right now, it's just grass. So the scope of work is expanding the existing playground further east while maintaining existing equipment on that one, and then adding a synthetic turf field on the east. And then there's also adding additional fencing around the playground, which is the same fence that we spoke about before, which is 4-foot-high black ornamental fence.
Okay.
I have some photos
Okay.
for this one.
Go ahead.
Here's some renderings of the playground equipment. And then for the turf field, not much to show here, but it's just going to be green, no designs on it. And it's 200 by 80 feet.
And just to point out that the turf field is part of the swap that the district made with the village for the, I always get this wrong.
Detention.
Detention pond.
Water.
Right, and so in regards to the swap for the property, the village is contributing $275,000 towards the synthetic field, which we are exceptionally grateful for, so thank you.
Great. All right. Again, any questions to my left?
I have one.
Go ahead.
This is the one that's right next to the detention pond, right?
Correct.
Yes, and if you remember, the original playground that's going to remain was a partnership with the Wheeling Park District, and we spoke with the Wheeling Park District, talked to them about the approvals so that we could go ahead and make these changes to the playground to add, because the population in that area does not have a very large playground, so we thought for the community, this would be a good add. And then also for the student population, as you know, Twain has grown over the last few years. So that's why the existing playground is being used, as well as adding new. And then the only change to the existing one is we are taking out the surface that was there so that it's a pour-in-place surface throughout, which we've done with all of our playgrounds. It's very little maintenance and no repairs necessary other than little pieces that may come out of it, so.
Okay, and the fence will remain, obviously, around the detention pond.
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you.
Else? Nothing down there? All right. Same condition applies, I
Yes.
presume? So if there's no other questions, a motion on 25-003.
So moved.
Second.
Sprague and
Hyken.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Hyken?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Commissioner Meyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Casper?
Yes.
Commissioner Smart?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. And last but not least, PSP MIN 25-004, request for minor site plan approval for site improvements at Walt Whitman Elementary School, 133 Wille Avenue. Your turn.
Awesome. So this one has a little bit more development going on. So here's the site area. We're going to be talking about the drive on the west, as well as the open grass area on the east and the existing playground on the southeast. Zoning map, existing conditions. So you can see there's the existing drive lane on the west side. That's both ways. And then we have three existing playgrounds in the center there. 2 of them we're removing, and then 1 on the east side, which we're replacing. So here's the proposed plan. So we are revising the west side drive to be one-way for parent drop-off to make it safer. That's changing the parking to be angled parking and removing the parking on the east side. The area in the center, we're just removing and replacing existing pavement, removing 2 of the smaller playground areas, and then adding a larger playground on the east side with another synthetic turf field. And then on the south side, we're adding a drive for bus drop-off, which also includes a couple angled parking spaces as well.
Where do the buses currently drop them off?
The buses currently go where we are taking it to one-way parking, so there is conflict between bus and cars. And so, working with a consultant, civil engineer consultant a couple of years ago, this was one of the recommendations. We knew when we got to the playground at Twain, we'd be able to make these modifications at that time. So this will truly take buses to one side, parent drop-off and walkers to the other, so now you don't have children
Yeah.
crossing across the street while buses are coming and might not be visible, so.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, any questions? Yes. Commissioner
Are
Hagan.
you going to be repurposing any of the existing playground stuff? Is that,
So this playground, the ones that we're removing are fairly old. We will see if it can be donated.
yeah,
And actually, all of the ones this year, it's why we chose at Twain to keep the equipment. It's only 7 years old.
yeah,
But the other ones are much older, so we will see donations. Typically, they'll go to other countries where they might not have the advantages that we do.
Correct.
But yeah, we will absolutely take that opportunity and try and have that arranged, so.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for doing that as well.
Yes, Commissioner Sprague.
I have a question about the bus lane. Do you anticipate any buses backing up out onto the street?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, it'll be just one way in, one way out.
One way from the south and then out onto Wille?
Yes, we've also made it a 24-foot lane, even though it's one way, so that they could double stack.
Oh, okay. Great.
The goal is to take the traffic off of the streets, which sometimes backs up in that area, and that's why bringing parents down and having a large queue for cars will be helpful, and then to be able to double stack buses, there shouldn't be any of the current traffic problems that exist on Wille, so.
Okay, great. And then I noticed you're going to be approximately 8 parking spaces short of what you had. Will that pose any problems?
We don't believe so, because there is also parking on the rear side of the building. And right now, given the staff and number of parents, we have ample extra spots at the end of the day. So yeah, we have taken that into consideration at this
Okay,
point.
great. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I have.
Anything to my right?
Yep.
No? You guys are quiet down there tonight.
Chair.
Let's see, I have any questions on this. So the larger playground on the north side is staying, the circular one?
Correct.
Okay.
The purpose of that one that's staying is because we still have pre-K at Whitman.
Ah,
Hopefully for only 2 more years. You may have heard about a project that's going on in the development stages. So once and at Tarkington, the same thing, we have a pre-K parking lot, or pre-K playground that's there. If we have the opportunity to build an early learning center and remove pre-K from our other elementary buildings, we'll remove those playgrounds at that point, unless we're seeing that they're getting some use from the community, and then we could, the one at Tarkington is almost brand new. The one at Whitman is very aged and seeing better days, so.
How many buses a day are circulating through there? Roughly.
If I remember correctly, Whitman has about 8 buses total.
Oh,
Some smaller and some larger.
Yeah. All right. If there are no other questions, did they have any extra conditions?
Yeah, there was one more condition. It was, so an engineering permit, site permit will be required for the proposed work. And number 2, all landscaping shall be installed by October 1st, 2025.
Okay.
I can't.
If there are no other questions, a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Casper Meyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Casper?
Yes?
Commissioner Meyer?
Yes.
Commissioner Riles?
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Smart?
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken?
Yes.
Chairman Johnson?
Yes. 3 for 3.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the cooperation and the partnership with the village.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, you'll just move forward with your engineering permits,
Okay. Sounds
which
good.
I think you've already done. So
Yes.
you just coordinate with Kyle.
Sounds like you have a busy summer ahead.
About $20 million in construction for the 3rd summer in a row, so we think about 1 to 2 more, and then we can go from repair and renovation to preventive maintenance.
All right, thank you all. All right, next up, we have approval of minutes of the regular meeting of February 12th, 2025, including the findings of fact for PSU 25001. Motion,
So moved.
Second?
Meyer, Casper.
correct.
Commissioner Meyer,
Yes.
Commissioner Casper.
Yes.
Commissioner Riles,
Yes.
Commissioner Sprague is a yes. Commissioner Smart,
Yes.
Commissioner Heiken,
Yes.
Chairman Johnson.
Yes. Other business, Ms. Nyes, what you got?
I just have the one big news that Moretti's opening to the public is going to be on Thursday, the 20th of March. And that's all I have.
That's all you got?
That's,
Okay.
I think that's good.
Well, we had the Wheeling Bank and Trust ribbon cutting a week ago Monday, right? Yeah. So, and Commissioner Sprague and I visited the Buffalo Grove Planning and Zoning Commission meeting last Wednesday, just to see what our neighbors to the north do. Because they don't televise, they don't record video. It's strictly, you gotta go on, look at their minutes. It's different.
Yeah, they have
In
some
some
different-
ways, a little more formal.
Different procedures. Tell Ross their director takes the polls.
Yeah, yeah, they actually have village staff sitting on the side, because they have 9 people on their commission. So they fill up the stage up here, and they're, I forget her title, you remember?
No.
Anyways, they use her as the secretary, she calls the rolls, takes to the votes and everything else.
Director of Community Development.
Yes, something like
This
that.
might have been the assistant.
And another staff member there did mostly what Marcy does, is do the recap. And let's see, what else is different? They don't do the pledge.
Their vice chair does all the motions.
Yes, they have a chair and a vice chair.
Oh.
And at least the 3 public hearings that we sat in on, the vice chair made the motions on all 3 of them.
Yeah, he didn't even ask for a motion.
No,
I think he asked for a second, but
yeah,
not the motion.
so, yeah, so it was different.
Yeah.
Had a little chit chat with them afterwards and invited them to come to our meeting, but maybe they're at home watching on TV.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody? Nope. No other business? All right, then a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Martin Heiken.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 6:58.